And we are live. What up, players? Welcome to episode 161 of Player Life. It is Friday, the 3rd of September here in Tokyo, Japan. What is good? What is up? Hope you are well. Have my morning coffee here. Good stuff. Good stuff. So today, I want to talk about the Epiphany Phase, or the panic phase, as I like to call it. Just got up today, and I had an experience last night that made me want to talk about it. So let me just set the scene first. About I think it was last week. I was just going. I was walking on a train platform somewhere in Tokyo, and this girl. I'm walking along the platform, and I'm leaving the station, and this girl just like is walking towards me, but she just like locks eyes with me, like staring at me as giving heavy IOIs, like, so obviously she was hot too, so I obviously stopped and said, "Hey, what's up?" And just I was just gonna. She was obviously gonna be getting on the next train, so I was like, "Okay, I'll dip in, get her number as soon as possible before the train comes," because you can miss if you don't act quickly in these kind of situations. You can miss opportunities. But she was very receptive, like extremely receptive. I said, "Hey, what are you up to?" And I don't know what she said. I can't remember. But I introduced myself. I took her hand. I always tell guys, you should, when you introduce yourself, shake their hand. She even like squeezed my hand back. As I say, when you're shaking a girl's hand, it's not like it's not like you're shaking it. It's like kind of like you're caressing it. And she like very receptive, squeezed my hand back. Yeah, so I just got her number, got her. I exchanged Line with her. Line is the messaging app used in Japan. It's just the easiest thing to do at the time. I just did it. Didn't even think about it. So yeah, later, as I said, immediately I sent her a message. I said, "Nice to meet you," or "Let's meet up later." And she said maybe she can, but it turned out she couldn't meet up that day. That's fine. So anyway, long story short, I set up the date last night, and yeah. So basically, I said I wanted to meet her at my station at 7 p.m. And she said, "It's okay if we meet at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. So that's fine. 8 p.m. 8 p.m. even better, because right now Japan is under a state of emergency. A state of emergency in Japan, But apparently, I think so. I don't know. I don't pay attention to this news. But yeah, so that tells me that she's even more down, because most of the restaurants are closed at 8 p.m. Because of these dumbass rules that they have. So these are kind of signs. First of all, she's willing to come to my station without asking any questions as to why we're meeting at that station. She's willing to come at 8 p.m. on what was it? On Thursday night. And yeah, it was also pissing rain. So like everything lined up, and it gave off the signs of a girl that wants to fuck, a girl that is like just following my lead and just doing as I say. But you never you never count your chickens before they hatch. Like in game, you never assume that you're gonna get laid. I mean, I you can say, oh, it's looking good. There's a probability that it's looking like I'm gonna fuck. It's looking, it has all the similar traits of what happened before. But at the end of the day, it's all, you never really know. Like these girls, you never know. But yeah, so she turned up. She was like she's pretty much on time. We arrived pretty much at the exact same time at the station. Yeah, it was, and so I just started walking her towards my house. No, she didn't ask us where we're going. She didn't, she was friendly, receptive. No issues. Um, but yeah, so basically, when we got to, this is what I do. This isn't like any you know you know occasionally, depending on the girl, this girl was giving off all the signs that I didn't need to take her for a drink or a coffee or anything like that, because I've done this a lot, so I go by the data, right? So when girls comply like this, it's like you usually don't need to take them anywhere. You can just take them back to your place, and they'll happily come. They'll happily come in, and it'll be all good. It'll be good times. But yeah, talking away to this girl, she's looking like very feminine, sexy. Oh, you know, it wasn't too sexy, but it was her dress style I'm talking about. Yeah, but she was very feminine. So, we get to, I'm talking to her. It's my house is about a 10-minute walk from the station. 10 minutes, not too far. So, I'm trying to, I'm building up rapport with her. I'm trying to game her, trying to let her know I'm not some crazy guy. Because I had only spoken to her like for about a minute at the, on the train platform, like really brief, like just introduce myself, say I like your style, and I exchanged contacts, and she was very happy to do so. She was very happy to do so. So yeah, we're getting to my house. We're almost at my house, and I presumed at that point, presumption is the mother of all fuck ups, but I don't care. I was just following my plan. I really don't care. But I'm just relaying the story. So there's a convenience store like a minute from my house. So just before we get to my house, I was like, "Oh, let's go in and get drinks." I don't even think I said that. I was walking in, and she was like, "Why are you going into the convenience store?" And I was like, "I'm gonna get some drinks." Um, and she was like, "Oh, are we not going to a restaurant?" I was like, "What?" Um, I was like, "Oh yeah, but the restaurants are closed. Like there's state of emergency. It's Corona. It's dangerous. We can't go there." No, but they really were. Like there was no restaurants open. In my area, so like there actually wasn't. Because they close at what? They take last orders at 7:30 p.m. and then it's so dumb. That whole shit is so fucking dumb. Yeah, they're gonna stop the beer bug because they close like a few hours earlier. What is this? It's retarded. Dumb shit. Anyway, this is when she flipped, like not flipped, but her attitude completely changed. So I was like, no, we're gonna go to my house, and maybe we'll order a pizza, watch a movie, and that's when she was like, I'm not going to your house. Like, straight up, I'm not going to your house. Oh, I don't go to guys' houses on the first date. Um, and yeah, I mean, the way she said it, it was like very, very stern, kind of changed from that feminine, yeah, nice girl into like cold, kind of passive aggressive girl. So, I mean, I didn't go into the convenience store. We kept walking for like a few more minutes, and I said, there's another pizza store. I knew it was going to be closed, but I was going to try and game her, try and convince her that we can, once she saw that the pizza store, that the restaurant was actually closed, she might change her mind. um so I started like talking to her as we're going to the pizza store that's just down the road that was closed. um I asked her, I kind of knew like she was giving off a lot of passive aggressive vibes at this point, because she was like, where is it? Where is this place? Where is the restaurant? And I was like, well, we'll just check. It's just down here. And I told her I think it's going to be closed, but we'll check. So, but she came anyway, and we're walking. And at the same time, she's taken out her phone, and I see she's looking at Google Maps, which is like another passive aggressive kind of thing to do, like she's implying that, she's trying to like look for directions to go home or whatever. So at this point, I really didn't give a fuck. Like, I really didn't give a fuck. Like, it's like, I'm sticking to my plan. I'm not, um, uh, yeah. So, I asked her, I said, like, I think at that point I just said, how old are you? Like, how old are you? I was just curious. I was actually curious, like, because I had thought, now this girl must be a bit older, because she's in this like little bit of a hissy fit here. And so she said she was 29. And the thing is, 29, I'd say like 29 in Japan, 29 for a girl in Japan is like a 33-year-old girl in terms of, or maybe even older, maybe even a 35-year-old girl in Western country. There's a difference, there's the Epiphany Phase. Like, in Japan, like, the girls are very much aware of the wall, and of the kind of limitations, and they're aware that guys like young, fertile, beautiful girls. They're aware of that. Women are aware of that here. They don't deny it. um uh so yeah, she was 29. I was like, oh, okay, all right, this is kind of making sense. And she was still looking hot, but bear in mind, actually, I had never, funny enough, I had never actually seen her without a mask. But I knew she was hot. I mean, you can just tell. Her eyes were hot. Her body was sexy. I mean, her nails were done. I mean, she was 100% bangable. But still, I mean, I still didn't. It took me aback. I was surprised that she was 29. Yeah, I really, I honestly, by her fashion sense and everything about her, I would have said, like, if she asked me to guess, I would have said like 22. It might have been different if she had taken off her mask. And usually I'm pretty good at guessing girls' ages. I'm pretty damn good at it. But I was like, shit, 29. Okay, that kind of explains things. So it kind of explained, for me. It kind of explained, okay, this girl is like, because the thing is, something about female nature, like, women, when they start, coming into the epiphany phase, going in the direction of the wall, they start to make some very bad decisions. They start to become even more confused about male nature, and they start to misunderstand males even more. Because what happens is, when these women are, 18 to whatever, when they're young and in their prime, let's just say. When women are in their, young, in their prime and looking super hot, they're giving out sex for pretty much nothing. Like they are, in this day and age, not all of them, but majority of them are, I would say. They're giving out casual sex. Like casual sex as in, they're hooking up from dating apps, they might do one night stands here and there, they might have some casual flings. They're having sex basically, and they're not making guys work that hard for it. But and this is when their sexual market value is at its highest. They're their hottest. They're valuable. They can bag like very high value guys when they're very sexy, hot, and attractive. Like, but they're giving it up for free, pretty much. But what happens is when they get older, their sexual market value goes way down, like way down. In terms of dateability, they start putting up they start like increasing their price, the price of sex, because I'm not talking about exchange of cash for sex, but there's a price to be paid for sex. You're paying for sex in some way, shape, or form, whether it's time, money, just effort, attention, like really, like you are paying in some way, shape, or form. And the thing is, these girls, they get older, their sexual market value decreases, but they increase the price. It's really funny. It's really hilarious. It's like having I don't know. Let's just say, even a Ferrari, like a Ferrari, a brand new Ferrari. You get a brand new Ferrari, and you have a whatever 200 grand for it. 200 grand when it's brand new. Let's just say, I don't know how much is a Ferrari, but yeah, about maybe 250 grand. Who knows? Depends on the model. But then like let's say like 10 years later, you try and sell the Ferrari, and you're asking for like 300 grand for a 10-year-old Ferrari that's like has all these scratches on it, and it's like being tires are it's all fucked, like it's it's in shit condition. It's shit, 10-year-old shit. It's all fucked up, hasn't been serviced, it hasn't been even taken care of properly. And then you're asking for like 300 grand for a 10-year-old. This is an analogy to describe what's going on with what happens with females. For some reason, that and I understand, I understand that they think, oh, I gotta make him wait for sex. Like if I make him wait, he's gonna like me more. But in reality, for high value guys, for guys that are clued in, for guys that know what's up, and are valuable and have game, making guys wait like that, putting up making these rules and putting them, it doesn't make us guys, it's certainly not going to make us guys like the girl anymore. It's going to make us resent the girl, if anything, because as you know, especially if you're red pill, because it's like, for a fact that she was giving up sex for free when she was a lot more valuable. A lot more, like way more valuable. Like it's nothing, it's a cold hard truth, is like nothing can beat youthful beauty in a woman. It's evolution. There's nothing to be ashamed about saying that. You'll be shamed into it. Oh, you're not a strong enough man. You can't get with a girl your own age. And it's like, It's just, it's just they've shown studies have shown that, surveys and whatnot, that men of all ages prefer girls in their early 20s, like men of all ages. Early 20s as in like 20, 21, 22, like, right up until old age, guys prefer girls that are in their early 20s. And it's just a fact. It's a fact of life. um but yeah, girls get very, very confused about male nature. It's very confused. Like, even, like, okay, listen, straight up, I'll be honest. Like, I'm not marriage material. I'm not boyfriend material. I'm not going to be the one to wife her up. However, if I was, one, say if I was ready to settle down and do the right thing, and whatever, get a girlfriend or whatever. If a girl makes me wait for it, I'm probably gonna grow to resent her more, rather than, like, I'd be more likely to pump and dump. If I was made, well, first of all, I'm not gonna wait. That's the thing. That's the thing about being red pill. You're not gonna go and put in. You're not gonna spend time, because time is money. Time is the most. That's the thing about game, is that you don't waste this time. You have an abundance mindset. You go out and you find girls that are willing to smash on the first or second date. And the more abundance mindset you have, the less tolerance you have. You know, the less tolerance you have for these kind of games, because what's up. Like, the truth. Like, that these girls, like, whether they're 29 or 32 or 35, and they're trying to make you wait, like, 3 or 4 dates, and then even after those 3 or 4 dates, not even guaranteed. You know, it's not guaranteed at all. But you're not entitled to sex. Like, it doesn't matter how many dates you go on. As a man, you're not entitled to it. And that's fair enough. You're not entitled to any woman's body or anything. But they're not entitled to your time either. So, you know, um, yeah, it's just like, so. You know, Last night, it's just like, it's just kind of a numbers game. I think, in from my experience, this is the blueprints I have, from all my data that I've gathered. A girl like this would usually smash. Yeah. All the signs of that, she would come home with me and smash were there. But there's always something. There's always a spanner thrown into the mix at some point. Um, there's always a certain percentage that isn't gonna come through. Um, let's see. Go More Hike says, yeah, I'm thinking the Tommy Lauren meltdown video from last year. I think she was 29. Yeah. So, and Japanese girls even look younger than that. But yeah, 29 here is like, yeah. Japanese, Asian girls, Asian men, they don't beat around the bush when it comes to age. They kind of very much acknowledge. They call it girls that are 25 and over and not married. They call them like leftover Christmas cake here. You're left over. But it is what it is. Sexual market value. I love that term, sex economics 101. It is, yeah, absolutely. Go More Hike says she belongs to the streets. Yeah, she does. Yeah, she's just deluded. So when I knew it was like, it's over. Like, this girl is like, she's looking at her. What really, when she asked me where the station was, I was checked out. I was like, okay, I'm not trying anymore. So I was just trying to. I just tried to figure out. I tried to grill her a little bit. So I said, so after how many dates would you go back to a guy's house? And she said, oh, it's not that. I don't want something casual. And then she actually said it's because I want to get married. So fair play to her. I mean, she was pretty upfront and honest about it. Like she admitted it. Like she was like, I want to get married, but I was gonna, and then I said to her, well, I just said to her, well, you don't really understand the male psychology very well, because the thing is, honestly, like a girl like that, you know, um, fair enough. I mean, if she doesn't, yeah, she's not looking for something casual. It saves me time, because I actually like the way it played out because it saved me time. Like if I went and took her to a dinner or took her for drinks, I would have just spent time, and then I would have spent time having that dinner or the drinks with her, and then I would have tried to bring her to my house, and then she wouldn't have come in because it's casual. There's nothing I could have done. This girl obviously had her rules set out, like, oh, I don't sleep with guys until the fifth date, or and um, but yeah, she said she was looking for marriage, and I was like, okay, well, if you're looking for marriage, you yeah, you probably shouldn't be making rules for guys, you know. Um, Probably not. Yeah, because what I was saying earlier is like if I was, I'm not marriage material, but if I was, let's just say, I'm not gonna find a girl more endearing if she makes me wait when she's like 29. Because I'm red pilled. I know I I would have more respect for the girl. I mean, it doesn't, if the girl just comes through and we smash on the first date, it doesn't necessarily mean that, this girl's for the streets, she's a hoe. No, it's just like, you could, it's possible that I could, you could have a relationship with a girl like that. I mean, very much so. I mean, even more so, probably even more so than a girl that made me wait. Um, because like I said, it's just like when a girl at that age makes you wait, it's kind of like you're getting cooked, like because like I said, there's been so many other dicks like in there. There has to have been a good few. There's definitely guys have definitely gotten it for cheaper, like for cheaper as in they've taken her home from a nightclub or whatnot. So when you're made pay more for it through time, money, effort, yeah, you're essentially getting cooked. Like really, like you really are. I don't know how else to put it. So yeah, I just don't have any. You can't really. It's going to be hard to kind of not resent a girl for making you wait more. So you're not gonna be able to like build a relationship with her. You're not gonna be able to like fall in love with her because it'll be too annoying. It'll always be like you made me wait, and I know I know you fucked other guys from nightclubs or whatever. And a lot of girls will admit this straight up. Like they won't even try and hide that fact. They'll be like, "Oh, I don't do that anymore," and then they'll tell you like it's not even a secret. Like they won't hide the fact. They won't say like, "Oh, I never did that." They won't say, "Oh, I never sleep around." They'll say, "I don't do that anymore." Like this is the funny thing about girls. Like they'll actually tell you. They'll tell you straight up, like, "Oh, I don't do that anymore. I'm looking for a serious relationship now." It's like they're telling you have to wait longer. It's fucking hilarious. And it's like, and that's where I think the confusion comes in with these women. These women should take red pill dating advice, like, because a lot of confusion comes into their minds. They get very panicked. They get yeah, they don't make good decisions. But I just think women like that are not going to find they're not going to find a high value man, because only beta guys will put up with that. Only beta guys will. Uh, yeah, straight up. Warrior, son of wanderer, make him wait for sex. Chicks who end up with betas. It's straight up, yeah, absolutely. Adventures of Electric Lamp says, "Hey Mac, I had an operation done and have a few dates lined up, but can't pull for over 6 weeks plus. Tomorrow I have a video call date because I can't leave my house. Any recommendations for success?" Video, I mean, video dates. I mean, you're just gonna call her on the phone. I wouldn't really call it a date. I mean, you're just like calling a chick on the phone. I don't know. It depends. I mean, where did you meet her and all that stuff? Like, it depends on the girl as well. I mean, sometimes it can be tempting. Anytime you're using your phone too much, anytime you're on video calls, it can be tempting to deviate into like kind of sexual talking about, trying to steer the conversation towards a sexual route. But if I was going to give you some advice, I would say probably, I've said it before, I say it again, try and avoid getting too explicit, don't show your don't show your cards, like, as in, don't try and avoid the topic of, explicit, saying that you want to fuck her, like, because girls don't want you to show their cards, in my experience. You can get into stuff like that with some girls, but I think it's definitely not the majority of girls. They prefer not to talk about it explicitly before you smash them. Things can change then after you smash them. Then you can start maybe sexting them and stuff like that. But if you start sexting and talking about telling them that you want to fuck them before you've even met them or something like that, it can definitely you can definitely leave a lot of pussy on the table, as in not fuck a lot of the girls, because they'll get kind of cold feet. They'll overthink it, even if they're into you, even if they like you. Girls just operate differently to men. And again, like, some girls, I'm not saying, like, there are a small percent, I would say a small percentage of girls that you can do that with. I've done it myself, but for the vast majority of girls, if you explicitly talk about wanting to fuck them or start trying to sex them before you even met them or before you fuck them, they might not, they probably won't end up even meeting you. And that's my advice. So you just play it cool. I mean, just talk to her, just talk about whatever. You can flirt with her and whatnot, but just try and set up the meeting. I'm not a fan of spending too much time communicating with these bitches on video dates and shit. Like, fuck that. No, try, like, spend a bit of time, like 15-20 minutes. Don't spend too long talking with you. Spending too much time with her on the phone, like, might come across as being too needy. Like, would a high value man like spend like fucking an hour talking to some bitch he hasn't even met before, on the phone? Would James Bond do that? Would Sean Connery have done that? No, he would not have. Sean Connery would not have spent an hour talking to some random bitch on the phone. No, he would go and fuck a real girl. He would find a girl that wants to meet, and he'd go and smash her. That would be that. There's no time for this fucking, no time for pixel time. Sean O'Sullivan in the house says, girls don't want you to think they're slots if they think you're potential boyfriend material. This also plays into making you wait. Yeah, some girls just get it mixed up. They'll they try and strategize it, and they use the wrong strategies. Sean O'Sullivan says, they have also been damaged by being pumped and dumped many times by others before. This is true. This is true. So yeah, that's why girls have their guard up high. Girls have their guard up high. So honestly, um, just go for the younger girls. Like, just go for the younger girls. I always go for the younger girls. I just didn't know. I mean, like I said, I genuinely would have thought this girl would have been like 22 or 24 max, just by her fashion style and everything. Um, uh, Panglima Kegel Pan. Okay, what's up? Hello, Mac. Hello, Mac. I know you from MLD channel. Even in here, Southeast Asia, they're starting to smash in early years and acting like some are said they're still virgin and want to find husband. Yeah, I mean, I guess, girls, there is a bit of a contradiction going on, I guess, even on the male side of things. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There's this idea that men want, are, they, when they date a girl, when they're trying to find wife material, they're gonna want a virgin. But I think in reality, guys want to have a girl that is guys want to find a girl that is gonna is like has experience in the bedroom. Because if anyone here has ever fucked a virgin, they'll know that it's not all that great. I mean, it's good, but it's not it's not like very it's not very exciting. It's going to be very vanilla kind of sex. It's because it's for obvious kind of reasons. But I genuinely think guys prefer promiscuous girls in terms of for sex. Like it'll be more of a turn on if the girl is like a fucking, if the girl is a hoe, or the girl. But that's where the contradiction kind of comes. They want a good girl, but they also want what is it called, the Madonna horror complex or whatever. I don't know. Basically, guys are kind of caught between a rock and a hard place in choosing which one do they want. Personally, I'm not looking for a girlfriend right now, so I don't really care if they are hoes. You know what I mean? It just doesn't bother me. But yeah, it's just I don't like the idea. That's the whole purpose of game, is so that you're not going to be made wait like a beta male, like a beta orbiter, because guys can guys can end up in that category very easily, very quickly, and they might not even realize it, like that they're actually, in like a beta orbiter category, friend zone kind of category. Not even friend zone. No, friend zone is like, at least in a friend zone you have some kind of status, but beta orbiter is just like you're just like in orbiting a girl. It's the worst, lowest of the low kind of thing to do. So let me just share something quickly. I shared this material before, but I just want to go over it again. Let me get it up. So this, for anyone who hasn't seen this, I'll put this link in the description. It's I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm just going to read. So, The Difficulty of Gaming Women by Age Bracket by Chateau Artiste. I read this before, but I'm going to go to the age bracket. A few of the age brackets. The girl was 29, but this is obviously written. This is probably for written about Western girls. So, I'll read the 28 to 30-year-olds, and I'll read the 31 to 34-year-olds. Actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna read the 31 to 34-year-olds, because this girl was 29, but in Japan, a 29-year-old girl is like a is like a 31 to 34-year-old. It's because Yeah, like I said earlier, in Japan, things are more like girls are more aware of their, a 29-year-old girl is like, shit, you're fucked. Like, you're not going to be able to find a husband now, because high value men in Japan are going for the like 21 to 26-year-olds, like, for marriage. Like, if Japanese men are looking to marry and they have money and they're reasonable, like, Japan is kind of based, like, it's kind of a base society regarding women and regarding men, and so yeah, let me just read it. 31 to 34-year-olds. In some ways, women in the 31 to 34 age range are the toughest broads to game. By toughest, it is meant most time-consuming. Yep, it's counterintuitive, yes, but there are factors at work besides her declining beauty which mitigate against the easy, quick lay. For one, it is obviously harder to meet single 31 to 34-year-old women than it is to meet single younger women. Oh my God, this is written years ago, by the way. So times have changed. It is not hard to find single 31 to 34-year-old women. Trust me on that one. This is yeah. So this article was written in a time where things were more probably more based, more traditional. I think it was written 10 years ago, if I believe. Okay, so marriage is still a pussy limiting force to contend with for the inveterate womanizer, but Chateau apprentices are hard at work battling the scourge of mating market disturbances caused by the grinding and churning of the marriage machine. Yep. But the bigger reason 31 to 34-year-olds are harder to game than any other age group of women has to do with the wicked nexus of entitlement and self-preservation that occurs at this age in women. Yes, indeed. And the important word there is entitlement. Entitlement. Remember my Ferrari analogy? Asking for the same price. Fair enough. You can ask for whatever price you want, but that's fine. Honestly, as men, we're not entitled to these women, to any woman's body. Like, let me just be clear about that. We're not. Like, it's fine, but they're not entitled to my time either. So if they're going to ask for that price, I'm not going to pay it, and then we can go our separate ways, and that's fine. So yeah. When you combine a disproportionate sense of entitlement fueled by years of feminism, steady paychecks, and promotions, and cheerleading gay boyfriends with suspicions on every man's motives and a terrible anxiety of being used for sexual fling, sans marriage proposal, you get a venom-spitting, malevolent demoness on guard against anything she might perceive as less than total subjugation to her craving for incessant flattery and princess pedestalizing. Man, that is some based ass shit. That is this is some good stuff, like very good stuff. Like, yeah, they're just yeah, it's just what more can I say? Note that the Chateau guests aren't necessarily complaining. A harder to game 33-year-old is kind of like getting bumped down from a Honda Civic rental, but driving off the lot with a consolation prize of a Ferrari. Indeed. Listen to any man who is good with women, and they will tell you the same thing. I have an easier time betting and dating 23-year-olds than I do 33-year-olds. Big facts. And it's just mental, because it's like any man you got to be nuts. You'd have to be nuts to prefer a 33-year-old over a 23-year-old. Any 33-year-old, I don't care who they are, they're gonna have been way hotter when they were 23 years old. This defies all logic until you see it through the eyes of the hamster sweating its fluffy ass off in a woman's brain. Poor little creature must be pooped out by the mid-30s. Sure, a 33-year-old is not as hot as a 23-year-old version of herself, but her ASD is through the roof, as is her self-conception as a hot, marriage-worthy commodity. Many older women will tell themselves that their experience, maturity, accomplishments, and financial stability mean they should be way more valuable to men seeking wives than some young babe on the take. Of course, they have to tell themselves this because reality isn't making it easy to believe. Yeah, so women don't. Some of them get it. I think Japanese women get it, but Western women, I think deep down they all know it, but um, their accomplishments, their financial stability, their experience, their maturity doesn't mean fucking shit. It doesn't mean shit. Men do not give a fuck about it. Like beta males might pretend to give a fuck about it to get into their pants, but man, like a millionaire woman, an ugly millionaire woman is not going to get you like an ugly, mature, accomplished woman is not going to give you a boner, and you're not going to want to be around her. Whereas a broke, hot ass, like 21-year-old Starbucks girl working in Starbucks, you'll absolutely, you could fall in love with a girl like that, easily. It's the same, same thing, the most successful, high value men, most handsome men. So it's the same for men across the board. Like there's no, we want young, hot, beautiful women. These are the kind of women who have sexual flings with college guys because they can psychologically box these men in as purely for fun adventures. But the men in the 31 to 34 year old women really want are the older, established men who will give them a marriage proposal and a family. This is why it is counterintuitively harder to game the older woman who still retains a vestige of her youthful attractiveness. She wants and expects so much more than the younger woman, and it's so fucked up. It's such a huge mistake on the woman's part. Like they really don't get it. Like they don't get that you cannot charge 300 grand for a 10-year-old Ferrari that hasn't been, even if it is taken care of, even if it has been serviced and all of that, you can't charge that much for a fucking, you can't charge that much for a fucking 10-year-old Ferrari. Why would you not just get a new one? Unless it's some limited edition. But even who gives a fuck, even if it is a limit? No, you can't charge that much. I'm not paying that much. You're not, your value goes down. Your value goes down. I'm sorry, women. Your value goes down in the sexual marketplace. All right? You can say your value goes up in the workplace or whatever. Yeah, you can be a boss bitch and all that. That's fine. We're talking about the sexual marketplace. You're not valuable. You're valuable. Your value goes down straight up. Game required: strong body language, masculine dominance, sharp suits and shoes, easy on the negs and palm reading, emphasis on the comfort stage, lots of travel stories, disqualify yourself from sex on the first date, vulnerability game, avoidance of beta provider zone. Yeah. Yeah, so with these women, you're not going to get laid on the first date. So see, I'm in a spot where I don't, I'm pretty much, if that's the game I'm going to have to play, I'm checking myself out of it. I'm checked out of shit like that. If I don't get laid on the first date, yeah, I'm like, she's gone in the wind and I'm gone in the wind too. Like, if I take a girl for coffee or drink, I'm going to be trying to bring her home and smash after, and she knows that. So I'm showing my cards like that, and they know, I know, so it's unlikely there's going to be a second date. And if there is a second date, it's going to be at my place. There's not going to be another coffee date. There's not going to be another dinner. And the man that knows all about this is Jair. What's going on, Mac? What's good, brother? Jair is my wingman here in Tokyo, and he knows what's up. He plays by the same rules. he meets these girls at the station and he just takes them home. If they don't, if they don't want to come, they're free to go home. That's the end of it. Like, there's no in between. Like, it's either, and it's like they're free to choose. It's like, we're not entitled. Let's just be clear about this. We're not entitled to their bodies. We're not entitled to sex. They're not entitled to our free time. So it's like, if you don't want to smash, that's fine. You can go home. That's fine. But we're not going to spend this time wasting time. So yeah, sometimes you just got to be cutthroat with it. In short, if you can present yourself to her as different than the indistinguishable mass of sad, schlumpy beta herbs who are her typical choice in available men, then you are guaranteed delay. Just don't expect to sleep with her on the first night. She will work hard to make your seduction as difficult and drawn out as possible. Yes, so like this guy's pretty based. The guys that accept, for the most part, accept women like this are beta, schlumpy, weak ass men. Because strong guys with an abundance, why would they put up with it? Why? Like, there doesn't make any fucking sense for them to do so. Because guys that are high value and have game and a red pill, and they're just gonna find younger, hotter women to smash. It's just, there's no reason. Why would they spend more for something that's worth less? It's sorry to speak about it so pragmatically, but as men, we have to be pragmatic, or we'll get fucked over. We'll get truly fucked over, like the beta guys can't get fucked over all the time. Note: do not speak of the younger women you date to an older woman. You will be tempted to do this to demonstrate your higher value, but instead she will withdraw so fast into her ego-preserving turtle shell that no game will redeem the pickup. If the subject comes up, just tell her you've dated many interesting women and leave it at that. All right. So this let's see. Zedsley says, "What article are you reading?" I will put it in the description after I finish streaming, but it is called "The Difficulty of Gaming Women by Age Bracket" by Chateau Hartiste. If you put in "The Difficulty of Gaming Women by Age Bracket" into Google, you should come up. Very, very good read. Recommend it to everyone in this chat. Yeah, man. So check it out for sure. It'll definitely give you some insights about how to deal with these chicks, because you gotta have rules. You gotta have boundaries as a man. You gotta have a setup, man. Because if you don't, you're gonna get fucked over, man. Like, if man, the mistakes I made in the past, I'll never make them again. Like, I think, honestly, the thing about getting a lot of experience with women is you can kind of predict where something is going with a woman, and I think I could have, the girl I met last night is the type of girl that I could have taken on 3 or 4 dates and then quite easily have gotten ghosted after it. So by just cutting to the fucking chase last night, I saved myself a lot of time. Well, first of all, she gave off all the signs that she was down to smash, like 100%. And she gave off, by the fact that she was willing to come to my station, no questions asked, after only meeting her for like briefly on a train platform. By the fact that she was coming on a Thursday night at 8 p.m. when all the restaurants were closed, even though it was pissing raining. And the fact that she didn't ask where we are going, like, even up until the point that we met, she didn't ask where we were going. Like, she just came along, like, happily, like, it was only at the point where she realized that, we're almost, when I told her, when she saw me going into the convenience store to get some drinks, that she realized we're going to my house, and that's when she said, "Oh wait, I'm not going to your house, by the way. Like, I thought, aren't we going to a restaurant?" And I was like, "No, we'll go to my house. Like, all restaurants are closed. It's like it's 8 p.m. It's Corona. Corona's dangerous. We can't go there. But yeah, just not very smart. Maybe just not a very smart woman. I don't know. Jair says, sharing valuable material again, like DJ Khaled. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah, man. But yeah, you got to just be a savage, man. Just like stick to your guns. Like, sometimes it'll work. Like from last night's situation, it'll work out more often than not. Last night was one of the situations where it was like, okay, that was one of the girls that didn't come through. It was just kind of a weird one. But in my experience, and I've done it a lot, most of them are going to come through when they've come that far, and like they've given off all the signs, like as in not prying too much as into why we're meeting at that particular station and all that stuff. But yeah, guys, I mean, just stick at it. It's just part of the game, isn't it? Some will come through, some won't. But right now, I'm gonna go and work out. And so check out the links in the description for anyone. Let me just put a link for anyone wanting to take a deeper insight into game. Consider joining my premium content. You can sign up in the link I put the link in the chat, and you can get access to a private blog where I write about stories like I just told today, success stories, failures, everything that you can learn from. And access to a private Telegram group where we talk about this stuff on the daily, and a monthly webinar where we break down game in depth. But yeah, it's good stuff. So I will catch you. It's Friday, so I will catch you guys on Monday for another episode of Player Life. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Peace out. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.